Hey guys, hope you guys liked the last video. Today we're going to make a cinnamon streusel muffin. It's a pretty easy muffin, so here are the ingredients that you're going to need. We're going to have our all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, cinnamon, vegetable oil, 2 eggs, sugar, buttermilk, vanilla extract, and then I have 3 tablespoons of butter for the streusel mix. And then what you're gonna need are your measuring spoons, a whisk, a spatula, a couple of bowls, a couple of measuring cups, a muffin pan with the muffin cups in them, and that's what we're gonna use to make our muffins. So next I'll show you how to put everything together and the quantities of what we're going to need to make our muffins. Okay guys, so now we're going to make our muffin batter. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our dry ingredients together, and then we're going to put our wet ingredients together, and we're going to mix them and then combine the two to get our muffins. So we're gonna start with our 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and we're gonna pop it in a bowl, like so. And then we're gonna add 4 teaspoons of baking powder into the flour. So then we're gonna get 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt into the flour. Then we're gonna get 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and we're gonna put that into there. And then we're gonna mix that around so everything gets evenly placed into our muffins, just like so. We're gonna put that to the side. And in our next bowl, we're gonna add our oil. Just try to get all the oil out. Right. We're gonna add our sugar. So our oil is 1/3 cup of the oil. I use vegetable oil, or you can use canola oil. Then into that, we're gonna add our 1 cup of flour. We're gonna add our 2 eggs, like so. And we're gonna add our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Then we're gonna add 1 cup of buttermilk. I'm gonna clean that out. So then we're gonna grab the whisk, and we're gonna whisk that all together. Eggs. It's a pretty easy recipe. Not a lot of work to go into it. It's almost like making pancake batter, almost. So that's all mixed. So now I'm going to show you. I'm going to put that to the side. So in this bowl, I'm going to put our ingredients for the streusel. So at the beginning I said I had 3 tablespoons of butter. Then to that we add 1/3 cup of sugar and 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. And that I'm going to put into this bowl so that I can easily mix it, because this is going to go into the center of the muffins, so that we have like a little surprise within the muffin. So with clean hands, you're going to pretty much mash everything together, and you basically want to like break apart as best you can the butter and grab all the sugar and all the vanilla into the butter. So then you're gonna take like a little, basically like a little blob, and we're just gonna put it right into the center of our muffins. So we're gonna like half fill the muffins, put a little blob of this stuff in, and then we're gonna fill it up again with the muffin mix. So you wanna get everything ready so that when you put your muffins together, everything's ready to go. So as you can see, it basically just makes, just get the rest of the butter, almost like a nice butter dough. So then you would take little pieces and then we just drop them into the muffins and it'll be good to go. So next, I'll show you how to combine the two mixes. But first, I just need to go wash my hands. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the dry mixture in with our wet mixture. And here we go. So I usually will put in about half, kind of give that a little mix. To start it out, and then add the rest. So I say it's a pretty quick recipe. You can just pretty much use a couple of bowls, put everything together. Just try to keep it in the bowl. Keep those clean. As you see, coming together. Almost looks like a pancake mix. Just a little bit thicker. Just clean that. Put that back in. Clean this out there. Now if you wanted, you could add a little bit of apples to this muffin. I've done that. What I do is I cut like really small diced little pieces of apple and I cook them off for just maybe 5 minutes just so that it get a little bit tender, to just help the cooking, because the amount of time for these muffins to actually cook is a lot less. So just to help the cooking process along, I usually will pre-cook or par-cook my apples, and then I usually put that in the center with the streusel, or sometimes I'll mix it in with the batter. Just depends on how I'm feeling and how creative I want to get with it. Next, I'm just going to grab my scoop, because I totally forgot about that, and it makes it a whole lot easier to do the muffins. So for muffins, I go anywhere from my little purple scoop, which is probably like a 3/4 ounce, maybe 1 ounce scoop, to about, I think this is a 2.5 ounce, give or take, scoop. So you can use this, or if you just wanted to use a spoon, then I would use probably a tablespoon, like so. And what you do is you're going to just take some of the batter and you're going to drop it into the bottom probably like a quarter full. So put it a little closer. See how well everybody can see it. It's okay to be a little bit messy, because who isn't? And basically fill them quarter of the way. Like so. And in the meantime, you can have your oven preheated to 425. A little higher than what we would normally do it, because what we'll do is basically the high temp is going to be used to help melt the streusel and help quickly start the baking process and give us a higher volume and help caramelize the sugar. So it melts and then melts into the muffin. So that to the side. So then we're going to take our streusel mix here, and we're just going to take like a little piece like that. Just going to drop it into the center. Now if you wanted to, you could break it apart and put it on the top as well. That's something you want to do, but what we'll do is with the heat, and because we're starting at a high temperature, it'll start the baking and make it rise quicker, and this will end up going throughout the muffin. So there is our streusel. So then what we'll do is you want to fill the cup close to almost like half full, 3/4 full. That way we get a decent sized muffin. Because I like my muffins to be a little bit bigger. Because as you can see with the baking powder and everything, it will start making your batter rise and get airy, because it'll make it a very light and fluffy type muffin. You'll get about, I think roughly I get about 12, maybe about 16, anywhere between 14 and 16 muffins. So it just depends how much you really want. So that one's ready to go. So I'll finish the second one and then we'll go right to the oven once I'm done this one. Okay guys, so here are the muffins all in their trays ready to go into the oven. So I've done about 18, so that's pretty good. They're gonna be pretty decent sized once they're baked. So what I've done is I've had a little bit more streusel, so I could have put more into the center, but I decided to make a couple with some streusel in the middle and some on the top. So you could do it the same way, or you could put it all in the middle or all on the top. It's really up to you and how you want to make the muffins yours. So these are going to go into the oven. So first what we're going to do is, so it's preheated at 425. We're going to bake that for 5 minutes at 425. And then when that 5 minutes is up, we're going to reduce it down to 350. And then we're going to cook it for another 12 minutes to get it fully baked into the center. So the high heat will make them puff up and will melt your streusel into the muffins or on top of the muffins. And then the 350 will continue to bake it completely and cook the muffin to the proper doneness. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to pop these in at 425, and then I'll show you what they look like after they're baked. Okay, so 5 minutes has elapsed, and now I put the oven down to 350, and hopefully you can see that the muffins have started to rise and look lovely. So now it's at 350, and we're going to continue the cooking for 12 minutes. And pretty much what'll happen, you probably can't see it in the video here, but some of the centers are a little depressed. So what'll happen is at 350 it'll start cooking the center of the muffin, so that will rise up and look delicious. And can't wait to show you the final after it's baked. Okay guys, so here is the finished muffins, as you can see. So the way you can check to make sure that they're done is if you just touch them lightly on the top, they should spring back up. If they don't spring back up, then they probably need a couple more minutes to cook. Or you can use the toothpick method, which you put the toothpick down the center of the muffin and then you pull it up, and if there's anything stuck to the toothpick, then you know you need a couple more minutes. But these are all nice and wonderful and they're done. And then, funny, the first time this has ever happened, the streusel has actually made a hole through my muffin. So what I can do is, if you're wanting to put some icing on them, you can make a vanilla frosting with some butter, some icing sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and you could just pipe it into the muffin and make a filled muffin if you want. But those are the ones with the streusel on the top, which are probably going to get devoured once they've cooled. So I would let about 20 minutes of them cooling in the muffin trays and then pull them out, and then you're good to go and you can start having them and enjoying them. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys make this recipe. Thanks, hope to see you soon.